This is Mark Kunik, and I want to touch on a subject regarding us us accepting, our levels of healing, and learning to move on from one point to another. That all the videos that are out there on narcissism is all good. It what it does is it validates. We're looking for validation. We want to validate what we've seen and what we're experiencing for it to be so that we can know it and put a name to it and understand it. And all that out there is valid for you to get to that. For you, that's needed for you to first find out about this narcissism way. Then you have to move on from that point. You can't stay dwelling on all the negative, on all of the things that they've done to you, and justifying it. And you just need to validate it. And it's very important that you do validate it, that you hear and get opinions from other people and see that what you have been seeing and what you've experienced is actually true. And it is happening. And you do have a name for it. And you do identify it and can see it for what it is. And so that's good. That's very good. But you have to come past that point, come through another door, and into looking to the positive, looking at how to conquer this whole thing and not to be a victim. You have to get past the victimization aspect of it and not be a victim and overcome it. That is the way that we can conquer this. It's the only way we can conquer this. We have to conquer it. We have to be able to smash it out, not allow it to happen anymore to any of us, to make us all aware so that this way, those ways cannot be any longer. And once they are not able to be let to do what they do, then they will have to stop. And that will stop them and prevent them from doing what they're doing. That's all it is a nature that we all could have if we've, engaged or has been things have been given to us, what's been given to them, and a way, a long time throughout a lifetime of programming for that way to be. And that programming will no longer be there if we just avoid those things and those people and those ways. We got to identify them quickly and remove ourselves from them. That's the key to everything, is to avoid. We cannot change it. We cannot go and try to coerce them into thinking differently, or suffer for them so that they will finally change. We can't do any of those things. At this point, all we can do is avoid it, and that will, if everyone avoids it, then that will prevent it, because there will be no more way for it to be. So we want to conquer over things. Always, go through what we got to go through and learn what we learned. We got to be willing to lose in order to win. If we're not willing to lose, then we're not willing to win. Always know that some of the things that we go through, we're losing at that point, but we're going to win, always. That's why you got to go through the winning door now. Everything that's out there, everything is exactly the way it's supposed to be. It's just that your two B's have to match up with the other two B's. What was to be at one time for you is, you'll find that. You will find what you need at the time when you need it. But you move further on, and everything is the way it's supposed to be right there. You just got to realign your what's to be for you with with the other things that are what's to be, aligned according to where you're at in your time in your life. Everything, the world is like one big picture. We all can see exactly the same thing. The world is just the way it is, and everybody interprets it differently. We all interpret it differently. There could be a bunch of people go to, so let's say, a party. Each person will leave that party with a different view of that party. Depends on where their focus is on. You and your partner may be at the particular time, working on the landscape of your house. And that's what you will go there to the party, and you'll be observing the landscape, looking at all the plants and things and making comments on it, or judging it, or, complimenting it, or whatever it is that will be your main focus. There may be a single guy there that's been, had some bad relationships, and he sees the other couples there, and he's just saying, "Oh man, all these couples makes me sick." I don't even like looking at all them. Look at those assholes over there kissing. He doesn't know what he's in for. He's just gonna get used. His view of women or couples is just bad because he's had a bad experience of it. That's what his focus is. Another couple may have just bought a brand new car, a week ago, and they're talking about how they seen another car. There's a car there at the party that looks just the same car as theirs, and wow, man, we're seeing these cars everywhere now because their focus is on it. Those cars were always there. It's just that their focus is on that now, so now they see it. Whatever you focus on, you'll spot it out. You'll see, your mind will bring to you whatever it is you're thinking about. So justify what you're thinking. That's how we have created things. They come up with an idea, and the universe will bring to you all the parts, all the pieces of the puzzle that you will need, and you keep trying, and your focus and your desire and your will to stick to it, it will keep coming to you. It will bring to you exactly what you need, and exactly all the parts, the pieces of the puzzle that you will need to complete that invention that has been millions of those right before our eyes everywhere. That people have discovered things and found out things, and that's the very process and the mechanics of it and how it works, how it was brought to them. We focus on anything, and it'll all come to you, good or bad. So focus on conquering over things rather than being a victim, because a victim just, it stops your growth. It keeps you being victimized, and you always have that feeling that you've been knocked down. But you got to get back up. You got to get back up and keep on moving and know that you got to win now. You got to start winning. And in everything that we start, we're going to lose a few times. We got to practice. We got to practice many times to overcome all things and to master anything, to invent things, to overcome our hurts and all the harms. That's all we got to do. Just look at everything that way. Look in a better way. Change your thinking, and everything else will change. Change the channel that you're on. We've only been on one channel. Some people have been on the same channel their whole life. I was on the same channel my whole life and kept getting the same results. And thinking what? And then the world will become, that way to you. You'll think that, all the women in the world are terrible. Because maybe on that channel that I was on, they were terrible. But I changed the channel, and there's a whole different scene. A whole completely different scene. A whole different act. A whole different stage. A different way of life. We have to change it all. Change our thinking and change the channel. And everything will be different. It's all just the way that we think about it and we see. Our focus will direct it. Will bring you all the corresponding information that you were asking for.